Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Street Fighter-themed episode of Arcade Run. I'm SD2 Production, aka Cthulhu in a Cardigan, and we're playing with the 5th DLC character of the 2nd season, Manet.
Have you considered your destiny? Do you believe in fate?
Manet is a completely original character, and the last time we saw her was in Ed's story mode, but now she is back and playable with a completely unique gameplay style. She's the apprentice of Rose, and we're going to be checking out her story mode and a couple CPU matches just to show her off. That being said, let's get started.
You, I sense something incredible is locked inside you.
What? Who the hell are you, lady? Where did you even come from?
When you're finished growing up, the you that you are will cease to be.
Starting things out with a callback to Fighting Ed. Oh my god, he's so overly animated in the facial plays. It's really weird. Yeah, Manet. Wow. What a character design, honestly. I think when we saw the art originally in Ed's story mode, we thought it was great, but being able to see it in-game, it looks fantastic. I would almost go as far to say that she is the best looking character out of Season 2 altogether. And when she was revealed, I know a lot of people were very, very much interested in coming back to Street Fighter V for this particular character and a particular costume that she has. But I really like Manet. I love the way that she's animated. Her moveset is super interesting. It's not something I'm used to, but I really like it. Overall, she's just a ton of fun, and her placement in the story is actually really interesting. There's a lot of fun things about this character, and like I said in Abigail's arcade run, that I really like the idea of the next generation of Street Fighter characters, and I think she is the embodiment of that. I like her a lot. I like the fact that she isn't just a Rose clone. She is not the same character. She is somebody new. She is different, and I like that. And I know a lot of people were making comparisons to other fighting game characters and stating that she is not that original. She's original in Street Fighter in general. Her moveset is new to Street Fighter. I think it's important to take that into effect, more so than thinking that she's trying to be some sort of copycat, or that we believe that she is something unbelievably incredibly new to just fighting games in general. We know that she's similar to a number of characters, but come on, I mean, super interesting. This is one of the things that actually blew my goddamn mind the first time I played, is the fact that we get to hear Oro, like, newly dubbed. This is his voice now. And on top of that, that might mean that Oro might be in Super Street Fighter V, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, like, wow. The threads between this and Third Strike are now becoming more known. And right now, I think everybody's just waiting for Capcom to release, just drop the news that, yeah, Super Street Fighter V is just going to be the prologue to Third Strike. And if they go any further with that, we might even just get Third Strike remade. Like, that would be insane. Obviously, a lot of people would be like, no, Third Strike's amazing, blah, 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 this and that. And I'd agree. Third Strike is fantastic. It has so many interesting things in it. But I don't think that they're trying to remake Third Strike in any way. But they definitely want to tell the story of Third Strike, which I'm sure is fine. And I said that the art looks pretty good in this one, this time around. But, wow. I honestly believe reusing artwork over and over in it's kind of cheap. I think they could have done something more original there than anything else.
Wow, that's good timing. I suppose.
Also, really weird that Rose did not mention Bison at any point to Manet. I think that's really strange. But hey, teachers be teachers.
Over there. Huh?
Now, I don't remember any of the original story modes, or even the Season 1 DLC, but I don't remember fighting any kind of jobbers, so being able to play this and fighting against these enemies again is actually really interesting. I don't know. I have no idea if this guy is copying any kind of moveset or he has its own original one. I think he does have his own moveset. But yeah, these guys, these jobbers are real easy.
Hey, take it easy. Outnumbered.
Oh, what's going on? It's an intruder! A woman! It's a woman!
You know, it's been rumored that a dramatic battle mode dedicated specifically to the dolls has been in the works now, and I think that would be amazing. Being able to fight against all the dolls again in order, and ultimately leading up to characters like DiCaprio and maybe even Bison would be really interesting. I don't remember if you fight against this doll in the story mode. There were so many. Maybe you do. I just don't remember. I know she's like the nurse character. But, yeah. Well, this was over fast. I wasn't expecting that. I have no idea what she does. But yeah, I mean, I would love an arcade mode back and a dramatic battle mode. I'm surprised that wasn't in the game. Again, Street Fighter V, unfortunately, not being what it was. Just not being worthy of $60 at launch.
I was only here to pass along my master's
Look at that, original art.
But forget it. Fine, I'll tell them. Be forewarned. This power will lead everyone to great disaster. Well, now I've warned you. Be sure to tell your boss.
Is she a fortune teller? Did she mean Lord Bison? Was that Lord Bison's future?
So, a fortune teller.
Oh man. I think out of all of the voices in Street Fighter, Bison's is so well cast. It's so wonderful. I love it.
Interesting. To resist and change one's fate, that is what comes from true power.
Once again, talk of faith and Bison doesn't think of Rose whatsoever. That being said, this was the story mode. Let's get into some CPU matches, shall we? Wow. Here we are in her default costume, alternate color obviously. There's actually a color that makes her skin lighter, but I actually like this one a lot better. Now, before I get into the gameplay of the character, I want to say that she's not an extremely technical character. She just has a, big setup game, which honestly is kind of confusing to a lot of people. You're going to put a lot of time into the lab with her. Right now I know a number of people that actually use her as a range character and some that use her to pressure. I know for a fact, for me, it is the pressure game that I really like. Usually my go-to is a jumping hard punch into crouching light into V skill. Her V skill is awesome too. It is a knockdown kind of attack. It's just a shield, as you can see there, and it actually gives you time to set up your crystal ball, which obviously I really whiff constantly. But yeah, altogether just a fantastically well-rounded character with the opportunity to do so much, and I think that's why so many people are actually really interested in coming back to Street Fighter, just to check her out specifically. But yeah, everything about Manet is so interesting and new, and I think a lot of people, I gotta say it right now, because her super is insane. The range on it is crazy, and just the range on her V skill is also insane. She has a lot of range, and I think a lot of people are going to be abusing that, especially in tournaments. So if you're somebody who's been hoping for a highly technical character, or again, not saying that she is an extremely technical character, but a huge technical character, then Manet is here for you, honestly.
Have you considered your destiny? Do you
Here we are with her story costume, which wasn't in the story. This costume has a lot of detail to it. Interesting enough, it actually makes her look like a lot of the characters people are comparing her to. But yeah, I mean, to finish off the conversation about overall gameplay, I have to say that she is a lot of fun. I do find myself using her a lot now. I don't know if she's my favorite character of Season 2 just yet, but right now she's really at the top of the list. I really went in hard with Ed, and of course Colleen as well. Abigail has been on and off, honestly. Manet, for the most part, has been just the character that I use training mode more with, honestly. It's crazy how much time I've actually put into this character, and I think it has to do with her design too. I think it's fantastic. The whole Egyptian aesthetic is something that I really like, and it's just so much fun to play as her. But yeah, everything about her animations, about the way that she plays, just everything about it that feels new and interesting. It feels like Capcom put so much time into her specifically, like even so much to put her at the very beginning with being an Ed story and everything. I thought that was like, huh, they're really teasing this specific character more than any of the other ones. So it really blew my mind when she finally came out how much they really put into it. But yeah, I mean, look at her. She is amazing overall. I really, really like her.
Manet wins.
Boom.
Have you considered your destiny?
Here we are, and this is the battle costume. Now, this is the costume everybody's been talking about. It is by far one of the most insane costumes right now, because when you think about it, Street Fighter V specifically is being really like hard on the competition scene, and it's just interesting that right now you have Evo and you have so many tournaments that are being like broadcast on television, and there's been so many goofs and gaps where people have actually had to change outfits for specific characters because they were deemed too inappropriate for live television. Street Fighter V specifically was aired on Disney, and so I remember that one of the Cammy players at a tournament had to switch out to another costume because they didn't like how revealing one of her costumes were. I have no idea which one it was, actually. I'm almost certain it was the default costume. But man, this one is this one is not going to be used in tournaments at all. An interesting little tidbit is that the voice actor behind Manet, both in Japan and in English, are the same ones that voice a character in Persona 5 known as Futabu, or Futaba. I can't say her name properly, but she has orange hair and she is a neat character. And in Persona 5, there is a point where you have to fight her, and she is dressed up like an Egyptian goddess. And she has orange hair, like I just said. And look at this character. This is an obvious nod to that, and I really like that. I'm a huge fan of Persona 5, and I like I like that they did that. Sorry. I'm flubbing over the fact that how amazing that super was. Anyway, guys, that was Manet. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.